What is self-directed compassion? How can us help during our life? How can self-directed compassion support us in everyday life? So this is going to be in this short video, and I've got my guest Karen, and this is part two. The interview. Karen participates now. So welcome, Karen, and thank you so much for being open and sharing your experience.
That's my pleasure and joy.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. So Karen is currently participating in the 90-day holistic detox program. This is second month, so it's we are during the process of this program. And as we know, at least many people know, familiar, that during detox, when the body is detoxing, there's lots of emotions that come up because the detox happens on all levels. It's not only that the body is cleansing itself on the physical level, but it really is happening on all levels. And particular emotions are really typical that they come up, they show up, and obviously they show up for a reason because they are ready to be cleared. So there is a modality that I'm using to support the participants. I also offer individual sessions as well. And that is called Compassion Key Process. So Karen experienced that Compassion Key process not long time ago. And this interview is going to be about her experience. So Karen, would you be able to just share with us in a short way, how did you feel generally, without really going into any details, at the beginning when you started the holistic detox process and before we had the session?
Okay, so before I signed up to the 90-day holistic detox process, I was feeling I'd been on the detox journey for, well, since 2016, and I felt like I was stuck. I felt like I was just stuck in cravings, overeating, and I just felt that I wasn't getting the results that I wanted, which was why I was obviously looking for something that could support me to go deeper.
Great, wonderful, thank you. So I don't know if you remember what happened at the beginning of that process. I mean, there is no need for you to remember. Unless you do, it would be great to share. I'm going to just describe something briefly that at the beginning of this process, I ask questions and we identify whoever is experiencing at the moment. By asking the questions, I identify what is really the problem that we are addressing in that particular session. So this is what came up for Karen. It was the stuckness, being basically stuck. Do you remember? If you remember, please share. But if not, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, the only thing I really remember is that you encouraged me to relax and to not listen to my thoughts and to just ask for my higher self to come in. And then I'm guessing that there was a point where my higher self did come in and I'm not conscious of anything anymore, any further into the process.
Okay, yeah, that's absolutely fine. So this was, this is what you mentioned at the very beginning before you sign up for the holistic detox program. So the stuckness came up definitely. That showed up as the first thing that you wanted to improve in your life. You wanted to change. This is what you wanted really to experience some shift. Uh, how did you feel during the session? Like generally about like, did you feel supported? Did you feel safe? Do you remember like generally how did you feel?
Yeah, I definitely felt safe and supported, and that you'd actually advised me to be in a room where I could be private, and that obviously no distraction. So I'd arranged for that. And yeah, as the process went on, I could hear you asking me questions, and obviously I was responding, but the process was relaxed and enjoyable.
Great, wonderful. So how did you feel afterwards, after the session? So like remembering how did you enter the session and how did the session end up? How did you feel?
Yeah, I felt when you finished the session, a huge release had taken place, and that, yeah, something had definitely shifted. And I was obviously ecstatic because it just felt like the stuckness had shifted.
Wonderful. Could you describe now, because that session, and in many ways, it's actually great. We are recording this probably a few weeks after that session already happened, because we can heal lots of things during the session. It could be even past traumas. It could be physical pains. Um, anything that is not working for us at that particular time in life, like literally in every area. It could be in a relationship, it could be at work, it could be related to money, literally every area. So in many ways, it's great. It took some time since that session happened. How it impacted you? Like, how do you feel really? How it's showing up? Because it is externalizing in our life later on. And we don't see everything straight away. Sometimes it's like certain steps. How do you feel the the fact that we released that block that was basically making you to feel stuck in your life? How did
Yeah.
that impact you?
So at the time, obviously, yeah, I just remember being really tired, and obviously, and going into like a slight detox on the physical level, in that my tongue became dry, and obviously I spent the next day feeling very tired, and I just focused on drinking water rather than digesting foods and things. But yeah, now that you've mentioned those various things, I realized that lots of things have shifted. Um, Certainly financially, I got a big pay this month, which came out of the blue, completely came out of the blue. But and then oh, what else? And then physically, I'm part of this holistic detox, but there was a big shift last week where I listened to a certain talk, and and some some information just went so deep into me that I was able to actually change the way I've been eating, and just focus on the detox. It was very clear to me that my body didn't need the food consumption that I had long term believed that it needed. It's shown up, and my work obviously is in the process of change as well. So yeah, it's quite fascinating
That's
how.
one. Cool. So one of the things that came up in a very clear way, and it was something quite big in your life, it was the fact that this was really like the solution that came up also from like you true nature, that you just need to be authentic in life.
Yeah.
How clarifying this, like becoming aware, because I remember you've actually said that this was happening all your life, but actually you weren't even aware of that because it felt just so natural because that's what it was expected from you.
Yeah.
How it's showing up now, like how do you feel basically, because that's really important. How do you feel with yourself now?
Yeah, I definitely feel free to be able to show up as I want to show up. That's the difference, rather than how I'm expected to show up.
Yes. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's
Yeah.
brilliant. So, is anything else that you would like to share? Like, if there's anything that is coming to you just right now in this moment that perhaps I haven't asked you, and maybe you feel it's important, or something you experienced that you haven't experienced before, that would be great.
Yeah.
Add
If I,
anything.
yeah, if I'm honest, I think we've covered pretty much everything that I can think of. But yeah, the process was very gentle and soothing, and like I say, and the shifts obviously incredible.
That,
Hard to believe that something so relatively simple can make such big shifts that have been really, we've been carrying, I had been carrying what felt like a load of bricks on my back for all these years of not being able, being not being able to show up as the person that I really am, but to show up as an actor,
yes.
and what I'm expected to be. So that's, massive.
That's wonderful, and that's something quite common actually for many people, that they don't even have the awareness that they are not really living their true life,
Mm,
because we kind of not obviously being conscious, we agree to the expectations that are
yeah.
set by our families, the society, education, and just what we are surrounded with. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your experience, for being open. I really appreciate that. So this is part two with Karen, experiencing her way of the holistic detox program. And I trust that after some time, maybe a few weeks later on, we will record part three. We will see what is going to come up, because the holistic detox still, the process is still on.
Mhm. Perfect.
So thank you so much, Karen, for being here, for sharing your experience. And I really wish you a joyful and really easy detox just further on in the process.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.